Hi there, it's Crystal Powell from Remax Jazz. And today I'm thrilled to be chatting with a couple of real estate agents from Kingston, Ontario. So if you're not familiar with Kingston, it's about a 2-hour drive straight east on the 401 from Oshawa. So hi, Lynn and Lorna, how are you guys doing today?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks. Despite the rain.
Despite the rain,
I'm Lynn Wyminga, and we're both with EXP.
Yeah, and I'm Lorna Willis, and we are partners and serve the greater Kingston area.
Okay, and so you're lifelong residents of Kingston as well?
No, I've lived across the country. My first career was contract food services management. So I've been Halifax to Vancouver. Lynn,
I went to university here in Kingston, but also lived in Vancouver and Toronto before moving back here.
Oh, very good, very good. So what are your favorite things about the Kingston area? I absolutely love it and visit a lot.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the waterfront is a huge draw. Love it. We actually live on an island. We live on Amherst Island, so we are surrounded by water. The culture, right? So there's theater, there's live music. We're home of the Hip, and Dan Aykroyd, and universities, colleges. There's 3 post-secondary schools here. A big draw.
Which is the third? So there's Queen's, obviously, and then there's the college. What's the third?
RMC.
The military college.
Of course, yes.
Everybody always forgets that one.
Yeah. And one of the hugest things is going out for dinner, because we have the highest per capita restaurants per capita in the country.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very good food scene.
Yeah.
I think I've been to probably every pub in sort of the waterfront area there.
Nice.
Yeah,
And I mean, the history, the historic architecture, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah, very good. So you mentioned that you live on Amherst Island. So there's a couple islands that are, full-time, year-round residents, including Wolf Island. Can you talk about that a little bit in that sort of different dynamic?
So, I mean, the beautiful thing about islands is they're surrounded by water, right? It's gorgeous, but they're also separate from the city, but close enough that you can still work in the city. So it's a different culture, because you're out on the islands, and Wolf Island and Amherst Island, you're driving, and someone's coming the other way and everybody waves, right? You're part of a small community next to a nice sized city with all of the amenities and culture and things. But yeah, you feel very much out in the country, separate. It's a nice kind of better than a neighborhood, right? Community.
Right. Yeah. So do you have to ferry over?
We do.
Ferry over to the islands, yes.
Yeah.
And the ferries run every hour from 6 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. So we've got Amherst Island, Wolf Island, Howe Island, and Simcoe are all larger islands that have communities. And then when you get into the St. Lawrence, you can find a cottage that's on its own little island. So
I've seen those, yes.
You've got some beautiful recreational areas here.
Right. And so the ferries run every hour. So when you live on the island, I would assume that you get an annual pass or something like that.
Monthly tickets.
Okay.
So it's at a discounted rate, and it's nice to have the ferry, right? You're very aware of what time it is.
Yes.
But once you get used to it, it's not for everyone, but for those that live on the island, once you're used to it, it's just part of the day.
And the funny thing about the ferry is, if you look around at people in the other cars, they're all either, they have the thing they do on the ferry. They nap. They read a book, they do their knitting. I have a girlfriend who does her phone calls because she knows she's got, 20 minutes undisturbed on the ferry, so.
Very good. Yeah. Well, and I would think that ferry, sort of any inconvenience brought on by the ferry is sort of a trade-off for the style of living that you were talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what would be the price point for a starter home in the Kingston Frontenac area?
So it's interesting because that's changed dramatically over the last couple of years. And, 2 years ago, you could have easily gotten a starter home for $350,000. Now you're 450 to 500,000. And we've seen semi-detached homes selling for well over 6, depending on what condition they're in.
Right. And what would you say is the most affordable area to live in, say for, you know, a young family or first time buyers?
Yeah, there are certain neighborhoods that are still affordable, with mostly townhouses, row houses, that type of accommodation. And then when you get outside the city. So when we start with young buyers, the first conversation we have is, are you prepared to look at Gananoque, Napanee, north of the city? Because if they're prepared to do that, certainly you get a lot more value for your house dollar.
Right. It's funny that you say that, because when I work with first-time buyers, I mean, the Durham region is certainly becoming unaffordable for people. So we sort of adopt, if we can, a drive until we can afford to stop strategy.
Yeah,
and it's like,
absolutely.
we'll just keep driving until we can afford to stop driving. So,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they have to get to work still, but now we were talking earlier, and you said that you had mentioned that there's a big draw from the Durham region to the Kingston area. Do you see, is that mostly retirees, or is that families, or what kind of demographic is that?
It's a bit of a mix, and it's actually in Lennox and Addington. So Lennox and Addington is the county that includes Napanee, Stone Mills, Amherstview, the village of Bath. So just west of Kingston.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So 8.7% of people coming to that area have come from Durham. And it's a mix. It will be a lot of retirees. Kingston is a lovely place to retire to. One of the things that Lynn didn't mention is, because of Queen's University, we have a teaching hospital here. So that's of value as we age. So we do see a lot of retirees moving here, but also young people who have said, you know what, we can work remotely now, or, you know, I'm an accountant, I'm a lawyer, my career can travel. And so I'm going to go to an area where I have a better chance of being able to afford a home. So a little bit of everything. We do have a lot of recreational, so not just the islands, but we've got, we're surrounded by lakes, rivers. So the ability to buy a waterfront home here for less than $3 million is a lot better than if you're looking Prince Edward County or Muskoka. So a lot of people are looking for that property that is recreation and full-time.
Home. Yeah. Now in the GTA, in the Durham region, you know, I think basically all over North America, we've been in a seller's market for a long time, where, you know, list the house on Tuesday, hold offers, take offers next Tuesday, sort of thing. Now we are seeing, and we have seen for about the last 3 weeks, a pretty dramatic shift in that. Certainly not to a buyer's market, but just a shift away from the, you know, the hardcore sort of holding offers. We're seeing, you know, take fully offers or take offers anytime. What's happening in the Kingston area? Are you guys holding offers, or what's going on there?
Yeah, primarily, you know, if it's a property, definitely holding offers. When you get out to country properties or properties that are a little unique, what you may do is just ask for a longer irrevocable time to consider the offer, to hope that you'll get multiples. We are still seeing, last week, 80% of the homes sold over asking. So they were multiple offer situations, and the average has been about $98,000 over asking, but the range is $100 over asking to $300,000 over asking. So it's really all over the place. And then, like you say, we'll see a volley of very popular listings with 20 offers. And then it seems like the buyers lick their wounds for a week. And so the showings go down, they all stay home, and then they come back out again.
Oh, so it really varies week by week, sort of thing.
Yeah, we are on our MLS every day and looking at what's happening. And then the local Realtors Facebook group, where they'll talk. And so you'll see someone say, hey, I've got this great listing that's had very few showings. So, you know, you just try to keep your finger on the pulse of it every day.
Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting to see the dynamics and see the different strategies that realtors have to use to maximize the to get the highest selling price, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to chat today. And if anybody's interested in more information or moving to the Kingston area, certainly hit us up and I can definitely connect you with Lynn and Lorna. And once again, it's Crystal Powell, real estate broker with RE/MAX Jazz, serving Durham region and the Quinte West. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, have any questions about the market or all things real estate, just call Crystal. Talk to you soon. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you.